Okay, good morning. We are streaming right now. We are going to start recording. Welcome, Kimberly, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, George. Wow. I am so excited to be here, and I am ready to help everybody move up to the next level by dressing for success. Are you ready? Yeah, I could hear the crowd. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just kind of share a few of my strategies because dressing up is fun, of course. Thank you, Jessica. You're always ready. But dressing up is fun, but it's also a strategy. It's not just to show off or do anything like that or to think you're all, something else, but it is my strategy to meet people. And it's a strategy also for my kind of like my armor for the day. So I get really excited about putting on the right clothes that will attract the people that I want, or just to be ready for anything, because sometimes things happen. You meet people throughout the day and they're like, hey, we have an event here, there, wherever it might be. Can you go? And so you always have to be ready for your success. And it's better to be ready and not have a special event than to be unprepared and an event happens. So, all right. So first of all, leadership is success, and keeping it classy. So as we're, in this new age after the pandemic, and then, work business is kind of working from home, everybody gets so casual. But when you step it up a notch, then people notice you and they think like, wow, who is that? And where is she going? I want to know. So half of my work is already done by being dressed up because people come to me. And that I think is really fun and easy. So with that being said, what are you wanting to attract? You have to decide what you want, where you want to go. And if you're like, nobody is going to be dressed up at the gym. I got that. And I'm at the gym a lot. But you want to look a little bit more cute than the average people there. And put on some lip gloss, put on a little eyeliner, something like that, or some mascara. So then when you are talking to somebody and you meet somebody else, you kind of feel like a little above them. I hate to say it like that in a way, but I really think you should dress above the rest of the crowd. And if you look like you're like everybody else, people, when you start talking to them about business or I have a new movement, I'm a founder of a new company, people are going to look at you and they're going to size you up. We all have, like right when we're meeting somebody, they will decide if they like you, if they want to talk to you, trust you, or do business in a matter of 3 to 7 seconds. That's it. And that's why when you think about farm reps or medical reps or different people in sales, and they always look sharp, sharp, sharp. And they're always smiling. And that is truly your best dressed, is always be smiling. But anyway, so when you are, people don't have a whole lot of time to chit chat when you're out and about, warm chatting or whatever you're doing throughout your day. And so when you are looking a little bit better than they are, they're curious. And so okay, so back to like when you're meeting people and they're kind of sizing you up, they're looking at your shoes and your clothes and your makeup and your hair. And it's not like you have to be fancy, but you have to be clean and fresh and somebody that somebody else would like to have as their friend. Just like, oh, I like that person. She looks cute, or he does, or he looks handsome. He looks so professional, whatever it is. And then it makes it easier for you to talk to them. Because think about it. I've had different situations where maybe I wasn't dressed to the nines or even to the eights or fives. And then you're running out to your car, to the store or something. And then you see that one sharp person and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to talk to them. I know they're going to be my next founder. They look like one of the people for my board of directors. And it's almost like, how could you tell them that you're in charge of a huge team, even if you're a team of one right now, but you're building a movement and all of that. It's more difficult to do that if you're not on their level or a little bit above. So I really think, you just need to step it up to level up. And now also, by being dressed and having something that you love on, wear your favorite things. Don't wear something that's like, oh my gosh, it's so old and ratty, forget about it. Don't put those things on. I don't care how comfortable they are, because you have to decide, do I want to be comfortable or do I want to be rich? And so sometimes it's a little uncomfortable, but it's only for a short time. And so put on something that makes you look like $1,000,000, or something like unique. Something's very, very special. Those outfits that you have, or maybe a jacket or a bag or shoes, even really cool gym shoes or something like that, or whatever it might be. Maybe you're wearing a headband, or the way you wear your hair. Those things that really bring people to you, because you at all times are a people magnet. You're a people magnet. But what kind of people do you want to attract? Sometimes, when I've been out and about doing different things, and I would get a lot of interesting comments from people, and I was thinking like, I need to step up my game. So anyhow, then you go back and refresh, rethink what you're doing, what you're wearing, and who you're trying to impress. All right. So it makes you more confident at all times, because before we were in 3, once in a while we would get sick. So then to feel better, you just take a shower, get dressed, do your hair, and all of a sudden you feel a little bit better. So really wearing something that is empowering to you will help you project the image that you want to portray to others. Okay, so it's your armor, it's your body armor for the day. You put on your bracelets, and all right, I'm talking a lot about women's things, but maybe men, I don't know, hat, your lucky hat or whatever it is, or everybody's like, wow, what's that? But you want to draw the right attention. Okay, so you're putting on your body armor, and then any negative nose here, there, they look at you kind of funny. Those aren't the people you want. So if sometimes I have had a tendency to be maybe a bit too much, but that's okay for the right people. Christine was just going over some of the personality styles and their clothing choices. And so with that, if you are maybe more of an SC or more of a minimalistic person, that's fine. That's great. You're going to attract more of those people. But we need to have people of all personality styles. So maybe throw on some yellow, put on some red, do something that will attract the high I's or the D personalities that are out there, because they will compliment you, I promise. Okay, so if you haven't had a makeover in a while, haven't changed your hair, go shopping, get a makeover. Do something like that, because you are going to meet amazing people who are doing the same thing. Most of the people in the salons and shopping around, all the customers, they want to level up, they want to look good. So those are the people you want for your business. Okay, so you've got your body armor on. It gives you that empowering sense of ownership, because you are an owner of your business, right? And most of you are probably founders, but if you're not, I would say do whatever you can to become a founder before it's over, before we don't have any founder opportunities anymore. Because when you say you're a founder to somebody and you look like you're a business owner, people think twice. They want to hear what you have to say. Okay, it boosts your confidence, enhances your professionalism. People trust you more when you look approachable or an authority. Also, I know one thing that's really important too is your image is very important when you're out and about. But when you're on Zoom meetings, you are on stage. You may not have it, you may not know that, but everybody is checking the crowd out. You might have signed up some person, they love you and you guys are good friends, but they're going to look at the community and they're going to think like, oh gosh, am I similar to this person? What's that person doing? Who's that? They're so curious. And so if you're like, these are a few little maintenance tips. Since you're on stage on the Zoom cameras in the morning, 9 o'clock, 9:30, evening events, all of these different events, you have to think about your support in this meeting. And it's really important because you're helping the speaker, you're helping your colleagues, because since people are all checking you out, try not to eat. All right. So these are some of the maintenance things. I'm a co-host a lot of times for Christine. And so I get these comments while I'm a co-host, and it's like, what is that person eating? Is it toast? Oh man, I'm hungry. I gotta go. So you really have an influence, even if you're on the audience in the crowd. Okay. And let's see, as far as eating, you don't want to do that. You don't want to sleep. You don't want to, I don't know, yawn. You don't have to announce you're leaving either, because then everybody's going to look at their clock and think like, oh my gosh, I got to go too. So you don't want to do that if you can. And then, okay, and let's see. So be on camera. When you're on camera at all times, you are helping the speaker, helping your business, your colleagues, and all of that. All right. Now, the other thing is, and if you are kind of on Zoom and you're not really ready, because I am usually never ready in the mornings, but this is changing because I want to level up too. I don't want to just be a 3-star pro. Forget about it. I need to be a 4-star, 5-star, go all the way up. I think Samson Lee said we are all 6 stars in the making or more. So in order to be a better team member and a better leader myself, waking up at 6 a.m., getting ready, and how much is it worth to you? Maybe an extra 10 or 15 minutes to put on a cute top or something and brush your hair and look awake, have some coffee. But even if it takes you an hour or two, like maybe me, it is so worth it, because it's just like, how bad do you want success? It's not always comfortable and easy, but it's so worth it. And it's only for a short time. Okay. So enhances your professionalism, fosters discipline and routine. So that's the thing you want to get into, because when you're working from home, it's hard to get into a routine. Nobody's going to be checking in on you. You don't have to punch a clock or anything like that. Nobody's watching. So you have to kind of handle it yourself. We attract who we are. So who are you being? Who are you emulating? And so my fearless leader is Christine Peterson. So I'm always trying to be more like her. Like, I don't know how people in Aspen, Heidi too, and people on the West Coast, Nilbert and everybody and Renee Lynn, how do they wake up in the morning so bright and early and cheery and happy and dressed? But, we have to just train ourselves to want more and to put in a little bit more effort. Okay, so it will improve your productivity, because once you take a shower, get dressed, you're on your Zoom, your game face is on, then it's like 10 o'clock and you're all dressed. Where am I going to go now? You got to go somewhere. So go out and get some coffee, do some errands. And when I was talking about have a makeover done, get your hair done, you get your eyelashes, whatever. But all these different things that you're doing, you're meeting some of the best people, and to be there, they have money. So I'm sorry, but they can buy the products, they can start a business. These are the people that are movers and shakers. All right. So, yes, you're a people magnet. And then the other thing is that everybody has, and Christine was just saying this too, everybody has an invisible sign on their back saying, make me feel important. So when you're dressing up, just to even meet your friends or anybody else, or just for yourself, of course, but when you are meeting other people, it shows respect, and it helps them, like you took care to dress up for them, and it makes them feel so good. I remember back in the day when I had a meeting, my first Mary Kay meeting, and I was in a skirt. And I invited my friends and family over, and they're like, "Oh, whoa, you're all dressed up," because I wasn't always in a skirt. And so it's like, well, yes, this is my business. And they're like, wow. So they took it a little bit more seriously than just hanging out, eating some chips and dip and playing with some makeup. So it really matters how you show up. Okay. So you're setting the example of how you want others to be as well. Because if everybody is in, like, even though we're in the health and wellness business and a lot of people are trainers and coaches and different things like that, physical activity, there is still so many cute outfits with all of that, the Lululemons and all that. All right, so cultivating your personal style. There are certain things that people are known for. And I know Christine mentioned this too. It's like, I don't know, maybe you read my notes. But anyway, this is so important too, because you want to have your culture, your signature thing. You know, like Christine is always beautiful, glamorous jewelry and just like elegance and beauty. And different people have different things. Like I don't know. Dilbert's always in a nice jacket when he's speaking too. And even Daniel Piku has always mentioned how well dressed Samson Lee is. So these things aren't coincidental. And we get little dress codes too for how we're going to appear on stage and everywhere. But you know what? The world is your stage. So when you walk out of the door, you are on. And don't think people aren't looking, because they are. Let's see. So I think that is mostly all of it. There is so much more though, because you know, your self-expression is huge, and it's who you think you are is who you are going to attract. So also just like outside appearance, but all of the things that you put on, it actually helps enhance your brain activity. So there is science behind it too. And I think, let's see, where is it? Yeah, yes, your cognitive function increases, your problem solving abilities increase. I don't know why, it's just the science of getting dressed up. Your nonverbal cues are huge. Sometimes it doesn't even matter what you say, people are looking at what you're looking at, your outfit or your facial expressions too. And when we're out and about too, you have to kind of check and see, how do you look when you're walking around? You know, some people have a permanent smile on their face a little bit. You don't want to look crazy, but you want to look pleasant and not that resting face that sometimes we all have. And so you kind of check yourself and always look friendly. Also, the psychological impact on others and yourself, your self-esteem, and how people perceive you is truly I'm sometimes reading a few of these comments, so thank you. And so you really just want to build your culture and find the people who like how you are and try to upgrade a little bit, up level, so you can rank up, empower others, make a difference in other people's lives, and that's really about it. So let's just go. You are a rock star in your heart. So we have to kind of look like it on the outside a little bit. And the more you do, the more people you meet, the more friendly you are. It is that attraction principle that will bring people to you. And I can't even begin to tell you how many people have come up to me first to comment, and then it's so easy to talk to them. It's fun. So, so I put things on purposely to attract people. But anyway, that is it. And I don't know if anybody has any questions. Please, like, ask me anything or comment. Nobody?
Hey, Kimberly, this is Lori. I just want to say thank you so much for this. And you're always a wonderful example of what you're talking about today. So just wanted to give you your kudos. And we appreciate it because we need these reminders to keep us on track. And also I wanted to add, just like you said, there's a science to it. I know there's a book out there that talks about looks matter, and they talk about how looks matter in relationships, how looks matter in everything. Basically, it breaks it down. But there's a book out there on, I think it's on Amazon. Looks Matter. So it's really a good read.
Thank you, Laura. I think it's so important. And also, I think it is very important to read. A lot of people are listening to audiobooks and things like that, but this is what Samson talked about on his leadership training, empowerment training, and it's Jack Canfield's The Success Principles. If there is any book, I would say absolutely read this. I read it before when I was in Mary Kay, and now with this new venture, this new project, which is a movement that we are going to change lives all over the world. I think it is imperative. And then the other one is this one I have all my little notes in here. And this one is The Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki. So I think these are two great reads. And a lot of the stuff I talked about is in there, and you could just Google it too. The Science of Dressing Up, how empowering it is for others, their impression of you and everything. So thank you, Lori. It's really nice. And thank you all for all the nice comments. But your image is so huge. And wherever you're going, have cool stuff. I always write like names down in here. Oh, and this is really a good one. Okay, so I always write, sometimes names in little books, or I take a notebook, and that brings curiosity. People would be like, oh, I like your little book. Where's that? Or I like your pen. And but this is the other thing, is to have your picture on your Zoom. If you can do that, I know some people have different contracts, we can't do that, but please put your picture on your Zoom profile and your name, because people want to see who you are and where you are, and then they could relate to you more too. And everybody wants to see who they're working with. And then the other thing that I think is really imperative is to have your business cards, which is really good. That's part of dressing for success. People always ask, do you have a business card? And now I am doing something new, which a lot of you have already. It's called the Blink card, BLINQ card, or a dot card. And so I'll tell people, it's like, oh, I have a digital card. And they're like, oh, that's really pretty cool. And it's like, I have to send it to you, so you have their phone number instantly. And then they're like, oh, I like that. And then it's another whole conversation, which is really great. And it's pretty interesting. It can show people that you're savvy into technology, even if you're not that savvy into it. So anyhow, I think those are great. And Lori approves. She is our LinkedIn expert.
And I wanted to say something too, Kimberly.
Thanks, Christine. Thank you.
Yeah, no, but when I recruited Kimberly in Chicago, she was my first national sales director downtown. There was nobody there. And I was looking for people that dress for success. And so when I went down there to Warm Chatter, I noticed her. And when she went up to get her coffee, I was out there looking for leads, of course. And I went, ooh, I want her. And why did I want Kimberly? Because she dressed for success, because we have this attraction principle, exactly what Kimberly is talking about. We attract who we are, not who we want. And so if you want great looking people, they will attract other great looking people, then you must dress for success. So when I saw Kimberly, I said, oh, excuse me, pardon me. I couldn't help but notice you. You look so professional, and you dress for success. What do you do? And she said, oh, thank you. I'm an Amoco engineer. And I said, I knew it. I knew just the way you dressed. You see, I knew that she would be a leader. And and what did she do? I ended up enrolling her, and she attracted other young, beautiful women like herself, because they wanted to be like, they were like-minded, And exactly what Kimberly just said, everything, you did an outstanding job. You as a people magnet, and she got out there every day and met other people like herself. And everybody in the company said, whoa, look at that Kimberly Starr area. Wow, look, they're all beautiful and they're hardworking and they're just moving everything. And this became this huge movement because they were attracting like-minded people like themselves. And she became the biggest area in Chicago. So great training today, Kimberly. I'm so proud of you. You did.
Oh, thanks, Christine.
Yeah, amazing training.
You're too nice. But when I saw Christine, I'm going to share one other story too. I think it's kind of important. I have met several Mary Kay women in my life, and they all are very nice, super friendly, but they looked, they didn't look that successful. They just looked average. And if I was going to do anything different, I needed to find a mentor who was above average, who had the things that I wanted to have or look like or be, these things. And when some of these other, without trying to sound like it might sound, it's just like, I thought, well, I have better shoes than she has. Why is she talking to me about this business? I was like, what? I'm not going to do that. But Christine had everything I've ever always wanted. And so it's like, I could listen to her. I want to be like this lady. And so she impressed me so much, even though I have heard about Mary Kay for all these different years. And nothing against Mary Kay women. They're always so nice and kind and everything. But you need to have I don't know, I just think you have to level it up a little bit more, to attract the people that you do want, maybe. But anyhow, I just had to say that because it's so important to follow the people that, and also, with all of the leaders that we have in this company, pick some of your favorite leaders and emulate them. How do they dress? How do they show up? What do they say? How do they look? All of these different things. How do they work? And so I just think finding the best mentors, we have the most incredible mentors I've ever seen in this company. It's just so impressive. I am blown away. I thought there could never be anything better than the other company. And this is 1,000 times better. I'm just so grateful to be here. Thank you.
Well, Kimberly, that was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing with us today all of your knowledge and wisdom. It's just so great to hear your story, as well as just to know, like, these are real, true principles that you can adopt that absolutely help level up your business and your game in this industry. And they're important. They really are important. And when you first said, oh, this is what I want to talk about, I'm like, this is so great. Like, we all need to wake up, have that thought that the world is our, or that's who we're dressing for. We're dressing for how we want to be treated. So, and how we want to respect and how we want to attract. So it was just so great and so beautiful. So thank you so much for not only being an example of that, but for sharing this with all of us this morning. It really gives us food for thought and tools to be able to implement moving forward. So thank you so much, Kimberly.
Okay, and thank you. And one other thing too, Adrian, we are so happy to be with you. I can't even begin to share that. And George, because when you look at this couple, are they not the ideal power couple? Oh my gosh, everybody wants to be you guys. Yes. And yes. George and Adrian, your smiles are $1,000,000. I mean, you could put on anything you want and just smile. Your eyes and your hair and your teeth are just beautiful. And I just think that we are in the right place. I know we are in the right place. And I think things happen for a reason. Thank God they do.
Thank you.
Well,
by the way,
for saying yes.
The link to the recording is already on the right side on the chat. This is to the YouTube channel and goes straight into what you just saw today. Amazing.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Friday.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kimberly. Great job.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.